Actually, simply, I'll just start off by thanking you, Senator Griffo. I know you love presiding, and you do a great job on everyone's behalf, so thank you very much. And getting a chance to listen, you start thinking of things along the way. I want to make sure that I start by thanking the governor. We have had a tumultuous couple of weeks for sure, but at the end of the day, we work closely together, we work well together. Certainly disagreements. He is tenacious, as he will often tell people, and look forward to working with him again on a wide variety of issues that are important to every community in the state of New York. Also want to thank Speaker Hasty. I said this yesterday or the day before, it doesn't really matter. Carl Hasty's a good guy, he's a gentleman. He's a fair broker. He certainly was very passionate on issues like rent and certainly in issues involving the city of New York, but he was also very passionate about property tax and upstate issues, so he has been good to work with, plain and simple. And I'm just looking, this is where I know we're in a good place. Now, this has nothing to do with state government per se, but Senator Hamilton is here today, and what's really cool is that we have the next Senator Jesse Hamilton visiting right over here. So Jesse, you are our future. It's wonderful to see you here. If you haven't had a chance to talk to this young man, he's remarkably poised, and that's a good thing for all of us. To my colleagues here, Senator Andrea Stewart-Cousins, I've said this time and time again, she is a lady in every sense of the word. She is very easy to work with, and we certainly have our differences, but we do have very, very good communication, and anything that she would say nice about me, I can certainly return in kind very easily and for sure. So to Senator Stewart-Cousins, we have a lot more work we need to do. I think today in particular we end in a way that hopefully is going to keep you smiling through the rest of the night. Okay, good, good. To Senator Klein. Senator Klein is also a gentleman. He is very straightforward, and one of the things I appreciate about Senator Klein in particular, he comes up with very unique subjects. You know, justice for jobs, the subprime mortgage issues. Every time I talk to him, I think to myself, well, where does he come up with this? I mean, but they're real legitimate issues that do have an impact. And he plugs away and does a lot of good work on behalf of his conference and the communities they represent. Here, we obviously are in a chamber that has a tremendous amount of history, and I'm in awe. I'm in awe on many occasions being here, coming in the chamber, its splendor, its beauty, the fact that this is where we do the people's business and where we're charged to do that business is something that none of us takes lightly. And the way we are able to do that is because we work with terrific people. There are so many good people who work in government that nobody even knows about. The people who help clean our buildings, the people who maintain the place, the people who change all these light bulbs and do all these things that actually do make a difference. And here, right in the chamber, in no particular order, I'm just going to say thank you to Rebecca. And Rebecca, yes. She, and I'm not sure if she's here, but Lisa Harris as well. And Lisa Harris. And the guy standing back there, he's, wily, he moves around, but he always gets things done. That's Joe Messina. I call him the fixer. He gets the votes on the floor. Now, the two people seated immediately to my left, I have known their value before. I have only grown to know more about them and their talents and skill sets. And it was mentioned before, we sort of have a bifurcated session, and I keep that in mind. So you do a lot of finance work in the budget, and then a lot of council's work during that and thereafter. But the good news is we have just phenomenal people, and I'm going to mention Robert Mujica first. He is just extraordinary to work with, and he is unbelievable at remembering things, advocating for things. He drives the governor crazy, which I certainly appreciate, as do our members. Yes, Robert, take credit for that. And I also really want to thank Beth. Beth is, she is extraordinarily bright. She knows her issues, and she is a fantastic ambassador for our conference, both internally and externally. So please thank them for the work that they do. Beth is going to kill me for doing that, but it's worth it. Now, I'm just going to quickly mention 3 people that I work with directly who are my team who went through a phenomenal series of changes since the beginning of May, and I needed them before, I need them now even more, and that's Robin Mueller, Carl Mills, and Sidney Gross. So, my guys. Senator Gianaris, I forgot to thank you for helping get things done on the floor, and I think we did a pretty good job lately and all year, frankly, but just getting the people's business done internally in the chamber, and there's no way it could have happened without the support of the minority and Senator John DeFrancisco. The good news is, yeah. You know it's the end of session. You know it's the last day when the lemon ice comes out. So that's a time-honored tradition that everybody loves. But as a colleague, he is outstanding. As an ally, he is outstanding. And as a friend, Johnny D and I actually get along very well. And we talk about a lot of different things. I had a fantastic discussion with him the other day about work that he's done in the past, some of the incredible trials that he's been involved in. And it's just, I know we are blessed, and I know I am lucky to call him a colleague, but to have him as our floor leader, the chair of the Finance Committee, he makes an extraordinary difference for us here and for the people in the state of New York. So, John, thank you very much again. By the way, he told me I was only allowed to speak at length if I was talking about him, so I may have to go on a little. So we are at a juncture where I think we have accomplished a tremendous amount. This has been a crazy session. Everybody knows that. When you think, just go back to the beginning of the year, the governor put out a budget proposal that was basically a budget proposal and about 85 policy proposals, which made our budget timing, the finance hearings and all things like that, frankly, a lot more challenging. But at the end of that cycle, we got the business of the budget done, 5th year in a row for an on-time budget, which I think is a very, very good thing. But in reality, that's our job. So we should be getting it done on time, but doing the people's business in a timely fashion is always beneficial. And then, of course, as session moved on, we accomplished a lot of things, including what we just did in the last couple of days, as well as today. I think in the budget, some of the things that we can quickly forget, $1.4 billion increase in aid to education, the largest increase in the state's history, and the largest percentage of growth in the New York State budget this year and the last several years before. Our primary obligation is proper funding of public education. We are meeting that commitment. There'll always be a debate about more, but doing that, getting rid of the GEA, looking at property taxes, and dealing with issues that are important to people, I think we accomplished a lot. And we did some very good things in educational policy during the budget. And the better news is, this week, we came to resolution on issues that we all heard about while we were home during the budget and our quote-unquote break. So I'm very proud to have worked with my colleagues in particular and to have listened to our parents, to our teachers, and to our students. And we tried to do reforms that were parent and student-centric. And I believe we accomplished that. And there was no way that was going to happen if we didn't listen to our constituents. They came at us, we came back, we pushed, and we got it done. Certainly there are a lot of other things that we achieved as well. I could spend time on the women's equality agenda. The logjam on that broke. We passed all the bills. And we got a lot of cooperation from the Assembly and actually advocated for things that, frankly, were long overdue. But I think our stick-to-itiveness in that area enabled these things to get done, unlike the fact that they hadn't really happened in the past. Controlling spending. For the 5th year, we have lived with, in essence, a self-imposed state spending cap. So now we're in a position where we can go to the taxpayers and say, we're asking you to have a tax cap, which the public strongly supports, but we're leading by doing the same thing at the state level. If we were increasing spending at 5, 6, 8%, we would have no right to ask municipalities and school districts to do the same. So controlling state spending, the extension of the property tax cap, since 2011, the numbers are something like $7.6 billion in savings to the taxpayers of the state of New York. That's a really, really positive thing. And despite some of the consternation, people really do still strongly support the tax cap. Property tax rebates. Think about this. I want to be in a situation where we create an environment for economic development where jobs are growing So we're not talking about rebate checks, which are absolutely great, $1.3 billion next year, but we'll be in such a capacity where we can actually cut the tax rates in the state of New York. The marginal tax rates for residences, for individuals, for corporations, that's what we should be aspiring to. So there are a number of things. I'm looking at this not just as a glass half full. I think it's more than half full. We accomplished a great deal, and there are plenty of things that we need to work on as we move forward. So I wish everyone a fantastic summer, wherever you're going. Senator Lavalle's going to Italy in a couple of weeks. Wherever you think fun is going to be, please enjoy whatever you do with your family. And in closing, I want to thank my colleagues on both sides of the aisle for being the professionals that you are, for representing your constituents well. I want to thank the members of our own conference and give a shout out to my good friend, Simca Felder, who caucuses with us and is a fantastic ally and colleague. So the one person or one group that I really want to thank as well are the people of the state of New York. They have entrusted us with their well-being. And our responsibilities are awesome. They are diverse, they are complex, they are real, and this is why we do this work. We do this stuff because we like it. We actually do want to help people. And I know that sometimes it gets lost in the mix, but I really do believe that at the beginning and the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do. So I know we're fortunate to serve in these capacities, and I do want to thank the people that we represent, because they're the ones who put us here, and they're the ones who can keep us here, and when we don't listen, they're the ones that can take us out of here as well. So we deserve, well, they deserve good government. We're trying to deliver that. Now, people talked about things that they want to do. I could talk about a whole bunch of things, but I'm going to leave on this note. I believe one of the things I really want to work on with my colleagues for next year is organ donation. I could talk about 100 different things. Senator Hannan knows this subject matter very well. We are 50th in the country, which is abysmal. For as progressive a state as we are and the things that we advocate, I find it reprehensible that we are not better at that subject matter, at that issue, and I would hope that my colleagues would think about that very seriously. And I know everyone in the room believes in this and takes it seriously. These are literally life and death issues. So I could talk about a lot of things, but when we talk about aspirations and where we want to go, that's something I think we can all work on very easily together and do the right thing by the people. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for giving me this opportunity to serve, and I hope I have the opportunity to make my colleagues and everyone in this chamber, and by extension our residents, proud of the work we do. And again, have a great summer. Mr. President, thank you very much.